salmon is what that is.
Salmon.
Yeah.
You found yourself, did you?
I did. That was from a long time ago because that was when I had my
3 years ago.
white Tundra.
Look at those cheeks getting red. Is he wearing pink? Is he wearing pink Speedos?
No.
We can photo crop it in there.
I remember that because we had just gotten back from or we were going somewhere.
Oh God, no! Please.
And I saw the Google Maps car drive by.
Huh.
It was 2005 when this was captured. It says, but the picture was taken April 2023.
Yeah, that would have been. Hey, are we live?
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
yeah. He just clicked the button and
didn't say you're
very quietly said it. We're live.
With me, you're gonna get in trouble real quick. Like
I was about to
I
say.
told you we were live.
Well, I wasn't listening.
Hey guys, we're live. We're live. Okay.
Of course not.
Is everybody ready?
Of course you weren't.
No, I was looking at myself on Google Maps.
How about? Yeah, and pink Speedos.
It was not pink Speedos.
Oh boy.
All righty now.
It was a pink shirt. What's going on, everybody?
This ought to be interesting.
Howdy.
It always is.
Well, are you ready?
Fun today?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Ready as we'll ever be.
Matt, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Can y'all hear me okay? Am I okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is my beautiful voice okay? Okay.
You're kind of muffled.
Oh, righty. Here we go. Am I?
Yeah.
Really?
A little bit.
Am I?
It sounds like it's not coming through your microphone.
Let me check. We can't have that.
Please hold.
Hold, please.
Technical difficulties.
How about now?
Now you're coming through your
There
microphone.
you go.
That's a microphone.
Silky smooth sounds.
Microphone.
Now you can hear my beautiful voice, huh? How's that?
Well, maybe a little bit too much of it, but yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I say the same about you, but I don't ever broadcast it out there. I just kind of keep those comments to myself.
Inside voices.
I'm thinking it, but I'm not saying it. Otherwise, you
quiet
just
part
say
out
it.
loud.
All right.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Hey, at least one of our wives listened to our podcast. That's all I can say. My wife went outside and said, "Have a good podcast."
She'll be
Mine
critiquing me.
too.
She'll be
Same.
critiquing me. All righty. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Here we go. Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 120. I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, joined by our hosts, Matt with Wacky Works, BJ with Byroms Custom Woodworks, and the famous Mustachio from the Wooden Mustache. How's everybody doing?
Oh,
Good evening.
it's a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful
It was.
day in the
It
neighborhood.
was.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
All right.
Now, I mean, based on the way that podcast, the way we started, we almost ended up in a sticky situation.
Oh.
And you know what else helps you end up in a sticky situation? How do you like that segue?
There you go. Well, you shouldn't announce it because now it messes it up.
Sometimes you got to
Selling
announce your
shirts.
segues.
Selling shirts.
They're all brown to you, right?
I'm starting to be able to see a little difference, I think.
Anyways, this episode is brought to you by Boss Dog Wood Glue, the glue that sticks around longer than your last weekend project. If you've ever used cheap glue that takes forever to set, or worse, doesn't hold when you need it most, you know how frustrating that can be. That's why we all use Boss Dog Wood Glue. It's fast setting, FDA compliant, and stronger than the wood itself. Whether you're building furniture, fixing trim, or just gluing random stuff together in your garage because you can't help yourself, Boss Dog Wood Glue gets it done. So next time you're in the shop, grab a bottle of Boss Dog Wood Glue and build like a boss. You can find it online at bossdogglue.com and get 10% off with our special code CMP10, all capitalized. And that's Boss Dog Wood Glue, tough, loyal, and built to hold.
There we go.
You can also click the link in our bio or in the show description. That will take you directly to that. And I do believe that link also automatically applies the 10% discount.
I think it does.
I think it does.
It does.
Mm.
I tried it. I tried it. Works.
And opinions
It
are
works.
welcome. That's the first time I'm doing an actual legit ad read. If anybody wants to critique me a little bit, let me know. I'm here to learn.
And if you'd like to also know how BJ uses his Boss Dog Wood Glue, you can go watch a video of him in the corner spreading it all over his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's kind of funny.
That one kind of died. I needed to add a
Yeah.
little more. Just couldn't think of anything else to add.
You ever so when y'all are spreading glue, how do you spread glue? Are you like, if you're just gluing,
Depends.
like,
If it's something small, I just use my finger. But if it's something big,
Yeah.
then I got rollers and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. But when you use your finger, are you instantly wiping it off, or does it tend to end up drying on your fingers?
I wipe it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was
Depends. Oh, don't go down this road again. Come on.
Dude, come on. Man.
Hey, every once in a while it's kind of fun when it dries on your finger just to peel it off. It tickles the tism. Sorry. Oh,
It tickles
thank you,
something, but,
Jennifer. I
moving
appreciate
on.
that. Moving on. Moving on.
I know, Matt. I got a lot to say, and that's pretty. We better just move on because we're gonna get in trouble.
What's everybody up to? Other than laughing at me. I'm glad I can entertain you.
Well, that's all the time, but thank you for that entertainment.
There we go.
Funny like a clown.
How you doing, Don? Welcome. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
We'll see this.
So what's new? What are we doing? We're gonna jump into the
Y'all just want to go and jump into that old beautiful segment that we, graciously love to call What's Glue with You? Joey, what's glue with you, brother? What do you got going on? I know we know what you got going on, but tell the people.
I did finally get this weekend. I did get the industrial pump up words.
It's riveting. It's palatable.
And that doesn't help down there. He's over there freaking making faces. But I got the mobile base. I got the mobile base for the saw stop put on. And the overhead arm dust collection. So I did get that put on the saw. That mobile base is amazing. That is a nice mobile base for that table saw. I kind of procrastinated on that because I didn't know how I was going to get it on there, and that saw's so heavy. And I was kind of going through YouTube University, couldn't find anything. So I videoed the way we did it, and it's probably, it worked. The boys helped me lift it up basically. And me and the oldest boy, we lifted up on one side. The youngest boy slid the mobile base underneath it and set it down. So it was a lot easier than what I thought. And it worked. And the overhead dust arm or the overhead arm dust collection, that's going to be cool because it all combines into one dust port at the bottom of the saw. So I just want to do something different because even though that saw has the that shroud over the blade to pull the dust in, there's still a lot of sawdust that falls out of it and ends up in the cabinet, and that's just there. So may come up with some sort of other dust port. So you have the actual shroud underneath the blade of the saw stop, and it's connected with the 4-inch spiral tube on the inside of the cabinet to the port.
Oh, okay.
But what doesn't get pushed down in there and falls on the outside of it, because it's not sealed, it just falls into the base of the cabinet and it's there. Yeah. And it's just there. So need to come up with something different, maybe a different type of dust port on it, 3D printed, where it has another, like a piece that kind of spins off inside into the cabinet that'll help grab some of that. Because, man, I opened it up and it was packed full of dust in there. I'm like, sawdust. I was like, wow, there's a lot in there. So I took a little bit and did some maintenance on it and blew it out. And I didn't have a chance to redo the top on it, but that's going to be on the agenda this coming week. Also, I started building a new outfeed table for the table saws. And the reason I'm doing it is because that outfeed that I'm using, it ends up becoming a assembly table. And once you start assembling and you need to do other cuts on the saw, well, it kind of blocks it because you're using it for a dual purpose, and it's not working. You're having to move stuff around just to try to make a cut, and it just becomes a pain. So I'm going to reduce the size of the outfeed and combine both saws. I think it's going to be leave a lot more room for activities, and then take those tables and just make an assembly area. So that can be just for that. And if there's a project on there, it's not going to bother. I can still use the saws. So I figured that was a good idea. So there's worked on that this weekend. And yeah, more activities. Just trying to get geared up. So when I start working on that bench build, I'll have places to put materials and have places to work on parts, and they're not going to be in the way because, there's going to be, going to have to utilize all that equipment. So I'm trying to get geared up to that because here holidays are coming up, and I go on my big vacation where I'll be off for a few weeks. So I'm going to try to get a bunch of this, as much as that stuff done. So maybe at the beginning of the year, I could start on that bench and start planning out, making the vices, hopefully we get the Andy Klein vices in at some point where we could start making the actual bodies for the vices and get them ready. And then that will kind of be the start of how that table and legs and everything are going to look. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on and just different projects that I got to get done. So hopefully I can start knocking them out. But yeah, that's what I got going on. What about you, Mr. Wackerle?
Had a lot of work at the job this week, but went ahead and collected. We have some actual things that we break at work that are concrete cylinders, and we have holds that don't get broken, and so we store those. For me, I build flower gardens or stuff like that out of them, and we'll stack them and get them all. And I did got a bunch of those done this weekend, which, yeah, I forgot why I didn't like doing that. But yeah, because I had 420 times I had to load it, 420 times I had to move it to a location, and then I had to 420 times had to stack it. And you squat that many times in a day and a half, and that's a lot of squatting. But anyway, but I also worked on a scarf joint this weekend, just messing around, using my pole saw and cut out a scarf joint and chisel and stuff, and marking on the right side of the line is a or cutting on the right side of the line is very important when you're cutting that tight of detail into it. And learn that real quick, like with those angles. But I played with that this weekend. Had some scrap wood that I just played with it, just trying to see how it looked, and also got some of the of my bench top that I'm building as well, milled, somewhat where it needs to be, but not all completely. That's about it. I mean, besides that, worked a little bit around the house. Very calm weekend. So wife painted some of the fence. It was pretty cool seeing that being painted and it coming to life with the black color. So what about you there, Mustache? What you got going on?
Let's see. Yesterday, we went to a Mexican restaurant and I attempted the 2-pound taco challenge. And I don't want to flex or anything, but I nailed it. And I get a free taco every week for the next year. Which is it's I can't just have one taco. I'm gonna see if I can work a deal with the bartender that we know and be like, all right, can I come in like every 3 weeks and get like 3 tacos? And but yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to eat today. That took a long time to get down. There was probably 20 other people that had attempted that, or that had completed it. One guy finished it in 10 minutes and 36 seconds, and he was gonna, if anyone beat his time, he would pay them $100. Like, it took me an hour and a half.
Wow.
But yeah. So I did mention this last week, and I'll say a little bit more about it. I am redoing the design for the CNC table, as someone we know is upgrading, and I am going to get their smaller one. So I'll have a new CNC in the future. So I'm building the Rocksteady bench as ready to accept that new one. So yeah. I just spent some time past couple days just picking up, getting things shifted around, moving stuff into the shed, and I'm kind of nervous about how much actual space I'm gonna have in that little one-car garage, but we'll see what happens when we get there. Yeah, Victor, I was in a bit of a food coma yesterday.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's about it for me. What's glue with you, BJ?
Well, did not enter any taco or burrito challenges. Did have street tacos for dinner though.
Ooh.
So I'm a happy boy. You do enjoy some good street tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the drill press table this week. So
Nice.
got it mounted up, got the fence, got the dust collection, even drilled a couple holes. So, got that. And in doing that, I was looking at it and I was like, you know what goes great with the drill press table? A drill press cabinet to store all your drill press paraphernalia, I guess.
Accoutrements.
Yeah. So I continuing my trend of using nothing but scrap wood. Unfortunately, this was the end of that trend because I ran out of material. But I built the cabinet out of 2x6s that I milled down to about 1 inch thick, and then just used some 1/2-inch ply for the drawer boxes and drawer runners, and went and got them all done. And I was like, originally I was thinking about not doing drawer faces, just because, it's a drill press cabinet. Then I was like, I want it to look nice. So went to the big box store this morning when they opened, and I picked up a sheet of birch plywood, 1/2-inch birch plywood, and I actually picked up more than I needed because I was the actual plywood I went to get. I was getting a sheet of birch plywood and a sheet of, or 2 sheets of just regular 1/2-inch ply. That was like half the price. And I get there, and the shelf where they store that plywood was empty. And went and talked to the lady at the pro desk, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've got like 60 sheets of that in. There's none on the shelf." I said, Nope, there's not. She goes, "Well, it's 8:05 in the morning, and my forklift person is not here, so we can't get it down." I was like, "Oh, well, that kind of stinks." And she goes, what other plywood did you want?" I was like, "Well, I'm getting a sheet of this birch plywood." And she goes, "Okay, how about I just sell you the birch plywood at the same price as this other plywood?" It's like $30 off a sheet.
Nice.
So yeah, I saved a little bit of money on that. Got a little higher quality plywood, and came home, and
You sure have the luck, because I've never gotten that deal.
I guess just my pretty rosy cheeks.
That must be what it is.
It is.
Yeah. But,
They got my picture on the wall of that store, and they're like, "That's the devil."
yeah.
Mama said that's a devil.
Mhm.
And
I want to see.
alarms go off when I start walking in. Alarms go off and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, here he comes! Here he comes!"
But yeah, did that. I took full advantage of the rip capacity of my table saw today, because instead of digging out the track saw and everything else, I just set my fence at 48 inches and was ripping those sheets in half. Even 1/2-inch plywood still is not easy to maneuver around. It's a little cumbersome, but hung out and did that, and that's
Just
about
question on that. Do y'all
Sorry?
use like the fence? I guess it's like the extended fence like system where I guess to me it's the Jay Bates thing, 'cause that's where I got it from.
I know.
But,
Yeah,
other people-
I was. Yes,
But a lot of
no,
it has legs in front and it holds the
No.
sheet for you. Oh, okay.
Today was one of those days where if I was running 3/4, that would have been almost a necessity, because I had one where, you're trying to push a 4x8 sheet of plywood through, width wise, you get a little cattywampus, it'll that blade will grab in a heartbeat. So I burned a little bit of it, but not
Thank you, Steve, for those kind
Yeah.
words that we couldn't figure out. In-feed support.
in-feed support.
Oh, like
right.
roller, like having a roller on
No,
the front or
it's
the back?
literally it's like it's 3-inch wide. That's why I built mine at 3-inch wide, and it's a piece that locks into your where your slide is,
Fence rail.
and then it comes
Oh, I
out,
know,
and it's got a
yes,
leg, and
yes.
it's got a leg on it, and you do it twice,
Yes.
and that way you can put your plywood right on top of it.
Yep. I know what you're talking about now.
You know what? I came up. It just hit me today. Well, it hit me today because I saw when I was in one of those lovely woodworking stores, the kit that I got to make my outfeed table. You can just buy the legs, and that's going to be the actual fix to the saw stop leg issue. Because if you own a saw stop, and BJ, you have the same saw I do, those legs on the end of that table are junk.
Oh, they're junk. I don't understand why they put such flimsy legs on such.
I found the
piece of saw.
solution today. I'm going to do it, and it's going to completely change that saw. And I don't know if I'll change the outfeed, but because I kind of like that Formica top the way they have it, but just the legs alone will make it to where it's not flimsy. And I found it, and it's probably like about $100 fix, but it's well worth it, because that saw, that leg system on that saw, that's the only thing that I hate about that is it's junk.
Oh yeah.
But I was going through some stuff and I came across it and I was like, well, if they're using it for that, why can't we use it for this? And just thinking of what I was doing last night, just looking at the way they're set up, they'll work perfect because they got plenty of adjustment to get to that perfect height. And they are so sturdy. It's going to work. I'm going to order me a set and put it on there because that's the only thing that I hate about that thing. And I know I'm on repeat. So anyhow, figured I'd
no, that's actually
say that.
That's a good idea. Let me know how that goes because that I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah, but no, that's about me this week. I am, just playing in the shop, building shop furniture right now. So
That's fun.
It is, and I like building shop furniture. I mean, it's good practice because you can experiment with different joinery processes, different, finishes, different whatever, and you can learn real quick what doesn't work, what works,
Yep.
And at the end of the day, the only one that's upset if it doesn't go well is you.
That's what sanders are for, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can erase it and do it all over again.
I like the inventing process.
Mm-hmm.
You get to design what's in your head and put it out there. You ain't got to
and
do what
that's
somebody else wants.
Yeah, and that's what that drill press cabinet. It was like I had an idea in my head. I didn't drop any plans. I just took a couple quick measurements. And I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, and it worked out. I noticed this today when I was at the big box store. I don't know if y'all ever looked at a lot of the plywood that they sell. I noticed there was one stack, and it was some of the plywood that I was going to end up buying, and I ended up not getting it. One side of this plywood was black, and I lifted like 7 or 8 sheets.
Sure, it wasn't mildew.
And that's what I'm thinking it was. The mold or mildew.
Ugh.
And I'm like, because I was like, I don't want to sand that off because then you're going to aerosolize it.
Well, you also don't want to lose your thickness either.
Yeah.
But you can get to the top layer real quick if you're not careful.
Yeah. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Seems crazy. I mean, but then again, I mean, they're coming in on uncovered trucks or.
Well, they sit behind the store forever until they're ready for it.
Yeah. So.
I mean, you could go back to the one that's down here where I'm around, and there's stacked to the top of the building.
Yeah.
And it just sits back there till they're ready for it.
It just seems crazy. And it wasn't high-end plywood. It was the cheap stuff, but still, it's like, yeah, it wasn't dirt.
You'll notice that like the high-end stuff or what they call high-end is all wrapped in plastic, right?
Yeah.
But that's just down here. That's just holding moisture because the humidity is just building up in there. So that top one is probably junk anyways. It probably just grows in there with just the moisture holding in that from the morning dew and the humidity at night.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if that's what it was. I've never seen anything with a black surface like that, unless it's something new they're carrying. But
no, this wasn't like a finish. This was like either dirt or like a mold or mildew or something growing on it.
Now that I've seen.
Yeah.
That I've seen picking up sheets, going through sheets. It's like, yeah, no.
I've seen 2x4s and stuff that were just black from all that. And it's like, yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not putting that in my house. But anyways, well, y'all want to get into this subject, or anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
No. So tonight we're gonna talk about how do we want to put this? The title says inspiration or imitation. So how far do you go before they're going to say you're copying somebody on a project, or that you think you're copying who wants to?
So I'll start it off with and I'm going to butcher this quote, but I saw this the other day, and pretty much comes down to there are no new ideas. Everything is a copy of something else in some way, shape, or form. You know, when you look at it. But the way I look at it, the way I feel when it comes to, you know, anything we do, whether it's building cutting boards, cabinets, dining room tables, whatever, with where we're at in the world of social media and everything else, every project you work on, there's going to be some form of inspiration from somebody else. Now, I look at it as if a customer comes to you and says, hey, here's a picture from somebody's website. This is the product I want. I want you to make it for me. That to me is the line. It's like, no, I'm not going. If you want that, go buy it from them. I will build you something similar using inspiration from that project, that product, but I will not directly copy that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to duplicate it to the T, right? I mean, of course you're gonna put your spin on it, but if they want, like, I agree, if they want that product, that specific product, they need to go buy it from them.
Yeah.
Another thing I'll add is, you know, if somebody gets offended for somebody copying what they're making, all I got to say is don't put it out on social media for anybody to see then, if that's going to offend you.
I mean, you know, so
plain and simple, you know, we all do it. We all put stuff out there, and we're all going to take the chance. Somebody's going to take that and run with it. But at the same time, nothing's copyrighted, you know, I mean, or not copyrighted, but what do you call it? Patented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In some way, form, or fashion, we've all gotten inspiration off of, you know, things that somebody has built. I take that as a compliment that somebody liked my stuff so good that they're using bits and pieces or making it. I mean, you know, I put videos out, and, you know, there's some stuff that I don't put out. That's just me. If I don't want nobody to see what I'm doing on a certain product that I might put out there, then I'm not going to show it. And there's a lot of stuff that I do put out, and I don't care if they use it. I'm still going to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nature of the beast of what we're doing. I believe, you know, I mean, cutting boards, you know, that's been a thing that I've heard talked about so many times. Cutting board's a cutting board. I mean, everybody makes them, you know, you put your spin on them, you do your juice grooves different or whatever. I mean, it's juice groove. It's a big deal. You put a handle on them. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? I mean, tell me. You got a different opinion. Right. I mean, it's a cutting board, piece of wood, you cut meat on. I mean, or whatever. I mean, everybody makes them.
Yep.
I mean, they're all going to be a little different, but I don't see why somebody would get upset if, you know. To me,
the only one that I've seen that really just, I don't know, it kind of irked me. Y'all remember when the river table stuff was really big?
Yeah.
And there was, I can't remember the guy's name, and I wouldn't say it anyways, but there was a creator out there that trademarked or attempted to trademark the phrase river table because he claimed he invented the river table. Now, granted, his were glass, not epoxy, and that caused a big uproar to the point where he was threatening, like, if you used like hashtag river table in your Instagram post, he would, you know, he was threatening people and stuff like that, going after people's websites because they were saying they were making river tables, you know, and it ended up just going away because he got a lot of bad publicity, and it actually ended up affecting his business because people just didn't want to work with him after that.
Yeah, it's a bully.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and I get it, you know, he wanted to make some money off of it, but then again, it's like, dude, like no river table that I make is going to look anything like what you're making. It is what it is, but
I don't see
I
how
mean-
the patent office or copyright, whatever you want to say, would approve something like that anyways. I mean, because there could be so many variations of that.
yeah.
How would that get approved anyways? I mean, did he
He
actually get
did
get
the trademark on the phrase on the term river table.
oh wow, really?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. And I actually, because at the time I was advertising that on my website and I got a cease and desist and was told to remove, I cannot advertise my tables as river tables. I was like, no, okay. And I, I was really into this. I didn't have a lot of buying power on it. So I was just like, and I reached out to my lawyer and I was like, hey, what do you recommend? He goes, I recommend you removing the phrase river table off your website. It's easier. Just, call it an epoxy table or whatever. And now, like, that's not even a thing anymore. You see it all over the place.
Yep.
Now I get like,
There's always a bigger fish in the pond.
yeah. Now, I mean, but you look at other things like, our buddy Tyler, the stuff he makes, a lot of the stuff I do believe he is getting the patents on several of the things that he's making, and you're never going to prevent copycats, but he can prevent them from making exact replicas of what he's making. I even saw Rob from Brew Builds. You just bought his dust thing for your rigid sander. A couple days ago, I saw somebody else selling almost the exact same thing, and I sent it to him, and he's like, "Man, it is what it is at this point."
I mean, it's kind of like, take for instance, 3D printed items.
Yeah.
You'll see, the big battery push, the big track saw track holder push. I've always designed my own. I've never taken anything. They're 100% designed, but does that mean that somebody is not going to buy that product and take it and get specs off of it and then start building it themselves identically? Maybe, is a foreign country going to take that, mass produce it, and sell it at a cheaper price? Sure.
Yeah.
If they see a good market on it, they're going to do it. It comes down to, I feel that when stuff like that goes down, it's like who has the bigger pockets to win that. And if it's not within the US, I mean, I don't know what can be done, but at some point, the cost is going to be cost. I mean, it's going to be way up there. Is it even worth trying to pursue something like that?
Yeah. So I'll throw this one out there. This happened to me a couple of years ago. Scrolling through TikTok, and I see a YouTube video or a TikTok video pop up, and it's a woodworking video. And I look at the logo, and I was confused at first because the logo is what stood out to me, and it was this logo. It was my logo with a different name. And instead of a guy with a beard, they had a bird. So
That's different.
Direct, but it was, and that logo, the logo I have, I made.
Okay.
I did not copy it. I hand drew or drew this in a graphic software. And I sent the guy a message. And I was like, hey, dude, you ripped off my logo. You just changed the name. And he's like, oh, yeah, I had a graphic designer do it. I was like, okay, your graphic designer ripped off my logo.
Well,
And his response was, well, I'm in Mexico. You're in America. What are you going to do about it?
so the first thing I look at when I see your logo is it reminds me of a sports kind of logo. Is what it reminds me of. Just the shape.
Okay.
Not looking at anything else. Just the shape of it. And so I would see somebody would copy the shape portion of it because it reminds me of hockey. That's the first thing.
You know what it reminds me of? Is military. Like the stripes, the very peak of it.
And that was
they have on the
that
shoulder.
was somewhat of the inspiration. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, people draw stuff all the time, I mean, to me that's kind of hard to prove. For one, unless you laid it over and it was exactly.
Oh no, and I did like it was line for line. I mean, they had the saw blade, everything. They just, instead of having, because I have a Texas logo or the Texas in mine, and then the established date, and then my face in there. Those are the three, and the name. Those are what they changed. Other than that, it is, line for line my logo. But again, it's like, okay, you're not in the U.S. And yeah, I could push the subject if I wanted to, because technically it's my logo. It's trademarked to me, because you can go back and say I created this logo in 2018 or whatever. I have the trademark from then, but then it's international trademark and everything else. And it was more like, dude, come on, like.
Yeah, there's been a lot of instances. I mean, you've heard stories over the years of that being done. You've heard stories of, names that somebody had come up with. Somebody else went and bought the rights to it. Like, what would you call it? Mustache? Like, when you go and buy that, like on GoDaddy or whatever, the
domain.
Domain name. And that kind of blocks you, and they're not using it. Like one of mine, I had to wait, and I actually had to bid for it to get it.
That's a huge scam. I mean, I know companies that like didn't know that their domain was expiring, and some foreign person scooped it up and was like holding it ransom. Like that's
Well, and there's people out there that will do this. They will.
I know some.
Yeah.
Sierra Mist. I mean, it's been all over the news.
They buy those things and they just sit there and wait, and then you're sitting there wanting it, and you're like, well, you can send them an offer.
Yeah.
And if they want to play fair, they'll sell it to you, and if they don't, it's like I want more.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's what was kind of like. I think, wasn't that the Wood Whisperer? If I remember correctly, back in the very beginning, he was one that there was a guy that had the same name, and it finally, I think the guy, if I remember the story correctly, the guy finally went out of business or something. Don't quote me on this, but he ended up having to go and finally purchase that, and the guy it cost him some money, but I believe that's how that came down, and he needed it to be able to get the Wood Whisperer. I think that's kind of the story, the rough story around that. But yeah, I mean, it's it sucks, but it's what you got to do sometimes. And I know we're getting a little off.
It's to a point.
I'll bring us back. So I was on a call a couple of years ago with this guy Mark, and I think he had just gotten a new X tool diode laser, and he was showing me how he does tumblers and everything. So with the diode, it's just a 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter machine typically, and then you have the honeycomb as your bed and everything. So he had actually cut a hole out where the honeycomb goes, and when he removed this honeycomb, his rotary for doing tumblers and everything was right below there. He didn't have to like use risers on the corners and all that weird stuff that some people have gone through and stuff. And I reached out to him before I started that project, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, I love how you have your rotary set up under your laser and stuff, and like, I'll call you out and mention you and stuff when I do that post, but like, I just want to run this by you and be like, do you mind if I kind of copy that idea from you?" And I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, because I mean, everyone in the community has awesome ideas and stuff, and we want to grab each one of those and stuff sometimes. And I think if you're upfront and reach out to them and just say, hey, I love this idea. I mean, before it goes down the rabbit hole where people in the comments are like calling you out and like, oh, you stole this from so and so, and like before that even happens, like jump in front of it, mention that person in the comments, like get ahead of it, and like. But I mean, what was it? Imitation is the biggest form of flattery, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I take that. So, Matt and I are building workbench tables, right? We're going to build hand tool tables. And what's the first thing that anybody's going to do before you start a project? You're going to go on YouTube University, or you're going to go through the socials and start researching and finding ideas. I mean, hell, I do it all the time. But am I going to copy it verbatim? No. I'm going to put my twist on it.
Put your spin on it. Yeah.
I want just to get ideas and let it start. The squirrels start working in my head and figure out what I want to actually do. And it's going to be a combination of a bunch of different workbenches that I've seen. And I still got to throw it down. I still got to make it. I've got an idea in my head and what I vision for it to look like. And I'll be honest, y'all know that I'm making some bench dogs. I got the idea from Nick Padula when I watched his video. Mine are going to be different, but he gave me the idea.
Yeah.
Am I stealing it from him? Would you say I'm stealing it? I don't know, maybe part of it, but I'm making my own spin. I'm not doing them out of wood. I'm doing whatever. There's other things out there that are the same thing.
Yeah.
Is there a patent on those? I don't know, but I'm about to find out. If somebody calls me out, then they call me out, but it probably do a little more research and figure it out.
But you're making them for yourself. You're not going to sell them.
At some point, I'll probably market them. Why not?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's just like anything else that's out there. My track saw holders, my battery holders are a dime a dozen. I've designed all my battery holders and I 3D print them. I sell them. Have I seen other items out there? I'll tell you that Keith from Blackthorn Concepts, we were sitting one night and he gave me the idea of the double battery holder, and he doesn't want any recognition, but we were sitting there and he said, man, if you could just come up with something. And while we were sitting there talking, I designed it and here it is. And I've taken that concept and done it for all 3 lines of batteries that I have. But, he did give me the idea and I do give him the credit. I designed it myself with my own software, but the idea was, he just basically said you need a double battery holder compacted. So is that considered stealing that from somebody?
I don't think so. If you actually design it, you can tell me about something. You can tell me about the atom bomb, and it was never invented, but now I go invent it and design it. If you split an atom and it does this, and I go do it, well, I'm the first person to do it. Just because you had the idea, you can't patent an idea. Well, you can, but if you did it and then you actually did the research and designed it yourself, that's yours.
I mean, there's a fine line, and on a lot of these things, I mean, there could be somebody just like BJ, you were saying with the river table. Somebody gets that and they want to go trademark that name, just like Coca-Cola or whatever, right? And it's possible, and you just got to kind of pivot and figure out what you can do. The stuff I'm going to build is going to be different. It's going to have my spin on it. If somebody wants to come fight me, well, then let's fight. Let's figure it out. I'm up for it. But it's one of those things. It's like we're doing this stuff again. If I don't want you to know what I'm doing, I'm not going to put it out there for you to know. Exactly. If you're putting a video out, you're wanting people to come watch your video, and they're going to get ideas, and they're going to go and spin it off and do their own thing. And then you want to come back and get upset and say you're copying me. I want rights to that money that you're making off of that. And I just, I mean, the law is a different animal. It is what it is, and we all got to deal with it at some point, I guess, when doing this kind of stuff that we do. I don't know. What's your opinion on it? Come on, give me some kickback.
I mean, I do say, like, if the project you're working on is inspired by somebody, I see nothing wrong with in the comment or in the brief about it or whatever saying inspired by so and so. And I've done that in the past, and that person, whether they're a big name YouTuber or big Instagram or whatever, they've commented and said, "Hey man, that's awesome.
Yep.
You did a great job." It's like, cool. I had it happen, when I was doing all the epoxy skulls. Once it took off, I saw it everywhere. And I had a few people that were gracious enough to say, "Hey, this was inspired by this person." And then others, whatever. I mean, they were people making skulls before I started popularizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll if I do something wrong, I'm too honest. I'm not gonna dance around something. If I did something wrong, I own up to it.
Yeah.
But if you want to come, I'm gonna call somebody out. If I got inspiration from it, I'm gonna give them credit for it. I'm not gonna try to take credit for anything that I did not do 100%. Never will. Never been like that, and I'm not gonna do it. That's just who I am. But it's kind of, I've seen a lot of things happen over the years of being part of this, and there's a lot of them that come to mind, and people get infuriated, and that cancel culture and whatever, right? And it's like it's if, again, I always go back to it. If you don't want nobody to know, don't put videos out, and detailed videos of how you're building it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do it. But even saying that, I can look at a picture and make my own version of it. Is that considered copying it? Is that considered being a copycat?
Okay, so is the person if the person that you're the project that you're doing is inspired by, say, random YouTuber, okay, they're selling plans for that project, whether they're $5, $1, whatever, $300 plans. And I'm with you, Joey. There's a lot of times I can look at those things and go, I can do that. Because for the most part, if you know the measurements, you know how to do it, and they're walking you through step by step on how to do it. All their plans are giving you are the exact cut measurements. That's really all the plans are doing for you. They're giving you the cut list. So you're then taking the time to come up with the cut list yourself and everything else. Is that copying? Or is that stealing?
Here's my definition of it. Okay. I think that it's stealing. That if I buy your stuff, I get it to my house, I take it apart, and then I put the plans out. This is how you build it. That is 100% stealing.
Yes, and I agree with that 100%.
100%.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Totally
if you made a post, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but say you made a post of something that you build, that it's a French cleat, right? And it holds up pipe clamps, right? And I build that, and I make a post of it. And say I forget to tag that person at whatever, but I just make a post of it. I didn't steal your stuff. I looked at it and went, that's pretty cool. Let me put my own little flair on it, and I do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's mine.
Yeah.
I built that. It was yes, you did. You had an idea about it, and yes, you have it on there, and yes, you build it, and yes, you sell it. That's great. I'm not selling it. I'm just showing you I built this, and this is what I came up with.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, every toothbrush that's out there, everything that's out there can be considered copyrighted. and it's not.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just not.
So I'm going to go back to the plans. So, I bought Mark Spagnola's bench plans or his video deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bought the rights by buying that, but I'm not going to turn around and sell that bench. I'm building
So
it
that
for myself.
that's what I was
Right.
where I was going to go.
Okay.
is
Right.
If you buy the plans and then start mass producing that product,
Well, yeah, that's stealing then,
That's
of course,
stealing, yeah.
100%. But I have no intentions to doing that. I bought it, but I'm still not building the same thing he built. I bought it to educate myself on how these things are done. And then I'm going to turn around and put my spin and build it the way I want to and how I'm comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm not going to sit there and do it step by step and build his bench.
Yeah.
It's not what I want. Mine's going to be different. Mine's going to have different vices, but I bought the right to copycat that bench.
but
Is the way I look at it.
someone like that is putting those plans out, like Mark or Bob from I Like to Make Stuff, or any of those YouTubers that are putting those plans out, they're already putting that out with the assumption that you're going
Of
to
course.
copy their product.
Of course. And he's got pictures on his website of people that have built that bench and they put their little flair, and that's what he wants.
So,
He wants you to do that.
but reel it back in, because I think really the discussion more or less lies in you. And so the inspiration for when I brought up the subject, I was watching a oh, my mind went blank and I feel bad now. Keith Johnson. I was watching Keith Johnson, and they were building a shelf, and they found the inspiration on like Pinterest or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about like, where's the line between inspiration or imitation? And I look at it as if you look at a product online and you make a millimeter to millimeter copy of that product, that is imitation. You are copying that product. But if you look at that and go, okay, this bed frame, for instance, I really like this design, but I don't like ABCD part of it. I want to make it my own. That, to me, that's inspiration. I'm looking at the picture. I'm saying, okay, here's the idea. It's like, so, okay, look at my drill press table. There's hundreds of different drill press tables out there. There's companies that sell them. There's makers that have made them, that have plans for them. And I did. Before I built that drill press table, I spent about 3 or 4 days watching videos on different ideas. And I took little bits and pieces from several videos that I watched to build that. So it was all, inspired by, J Cats or, what's his name from Shop Nation. There was little pieces of that. So I didn't copy one exact drill press table. I used inspiration for multiples, and that's kind of where I'm at on that. Is like, if you make a like for like copy, that's imitation.
Well, okay, go ahead, Matt.
Well, here's where I can say that it all depends on certain subjects as well. Like I said, if I buy your plans and I build your stuff and then I turn around and start to sell it, that is exactly copy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But say you make a pen blank, and that's all I want to say is a pen blank, and you make it 6 inches long, and you make it 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch, and I do the same exact thing, and I use the same exact color as yours. Am I not copying yours? But you can't, because it's going to come out different because the colors are different, and it intertwines different, and it twirls different, whatever. You can't. I mean, to me, it's totally,
So okay, so if you're going that far, you're saying that we're building stuff out of wood.
Yeah,
we're not metal workers. We're not custom car builders. We're not using paint. We're building things out of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge me if you want to in the comments or whatever, but I guarantee you there are no two natural pieces of wood that are identical.
Of course not.
Of course not.
So,
But what we're saying is measurements, design, everything's
yes,
exactly the same.
but if you really want to go that in depth with it, nothing is actually a copy because nothing is the same.
So, okay, so we do this, whatever you want to call it, social media, because we want to inspire people to do things. We want to talk about
why
things.
you're called an influencer. You're influencing them.
Whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why do people get upset when somebody builds their product? Okay, let me finish this though.
You want the PC response or not?
Well, and I'm not picking on the people that make signs or whatever, right? You put this content out daily, weekly, and somebody likes it. And how can you get mad when somebody goes and makes that sign with the different wording and sells it? You know, they got inspiration from you, and they turn around and everybody, you know, a lot of people are in it to make some sort of revenue off of their products, right? But again, I go back to, if you don't want somebody to copy you, then don't put the video out. Simple as that.
And we've all seen that.
Yep. I mean,
and go ahead, Mustachio.
I was gonna say I had some, I think 3-inch pipe, and I realized that a bench cookie will fit inside of the 3-inch pipe. So I had a bunch of bench cookies, and I cut half of the pipe at the bottom so I could pull it out, and hung it up on the wall, and I put a little Cookie Monster like sticker on it and everything, and I put it on Instagram, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, that's genius! You mind if I steal it?" I'm like, by all means, feel free. Like this was something I just happened to discover, and like tag me. Like I'd love to see what you make. You know, like I was just happy that I figured that out and stuff, and you know, like I'd love to see what other people come up with.
And see, and I saw that same concept from, I think, April Wilkerson. I did the same thing. Yeah, 3-inch piece of PVC. It's great for holding, you know, bench cookies. Now,
yep.
And that's the thing. My box, my drawer that holds all my bench cookies, I engraved a picture of Cookie Monster on it. You know, it's, you know, hang on one second. Y'all continue this conversation.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
y'all continue this conversation.
I wanted to go back to plans and touch on that real quick, because I bought the Wobie Jig plans. Ben, I think it's Ben. Ben's his first name. But I bought his plans for the little jig that will hold your camera or phone or whatever, and you just cut it out on CNC and boom. Obviously, I didn't have a CNC, but a friend of mine had one, and he was willing to do it. And you know, I know a ton of people have made that too, and like I think it was $20 or something, but like yeah, I could easily reach out to one of those people and be like, hey, can you send me those plans and stuff? Like, no, I'm not that person. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to support whoever took the time to make that file. You know, Matt, it's just like your CNC table and everything. Like if you were to find out that like people are passing that file around and stuff, and you're seeing $0, like you're going to get a little offended, you know?
A little bit.
Like, and I mean, like, I want to help as many people out as I can, and like I don't mind. Like, that was a great design for that little camera mount. Like it's solid. Like I love it, and I think that we all need to like help other people and not steal stuff, I guess.
Yeah, but no, and we've all seen it, in and around social media. People post something, oh, look what I made, and then somebody else comes out of the woodwork, pun intended. You stole that from me. You stole that idea from me. It's like, but that goes back to what Joey said. If you don't want someone to steal your idea, don't put it out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because most of us in this world are intelligent enough, and you do this long enough, you can look at something, like I said, you can look at a project and reverse engineer it yourself. For the most part. Now, there are some things out there where it's like, and there's some projects I'd like to do that I'm looking at the plans going, I get the general idea, but there, whether it's like a certain kind of table saw jig, like, what's his name? Drew Fisher. He has that box joint jig where it's got the teeth in it.
That auto lift it up and move it over.
Yeah.
Like
that's
that.
Cool.
I'm gonna buy the plans for, because there's some measurements in there that you need to be dead to rights on.
Yep.
So here's a good one. What about a vacuum table for a CNC?
Ooh.
I mean,
Who's gonna bite on that one? Because I mean, there's
enough of them out
already.
there.
I've already designed my own.
Right, but at what point can somebody come and say you took my design, Matt?
I have complete design of my own. I mean, heck, I was winging it.
Right.
But anyway, it's. I see what you're saying, but because I have where I've designed it myself, it's mine. I did it. 100%.
Right, but it could be that you did that, and then somebody comes and one of the companies out there and said,
yeah.
So
you're doing something.
I'll take it to a different level. Okay. So the flattening jig, a router table flattening jig. Who was it designed by? Nick Offerman. Okay. He's the one that did it. It was in the books in the 80s when he designed this thing, came up with it when he was cutting out cookies, and he wanted a way to flatten them out bigger because they were too big for him to flatten out by hand with a hand plane, doing end grain. That's what he designed it for. And then all of a sudden people came up and he says, I was really amazed to see, I was glad to be able to put it out there. I was on Fine Woodworking, this, that, and the other. And then he started talking, about how amazing it is what other people have come up and designed based off that. He says, it's great. I was glad to see what people came up with. I wasn't mad because other people started doing it. Now, what I would be mad is if somebody took my exact idea that I patented.
Yeah.
And then did something about it. Okay. So, if I didn't patent that vacuum table, then yeah. I don't have any rights to it. But if somebody come up with their own idea and they say, hey, this is what I came up with. Cool. That's what you did.
And I think at the end of the day, like, you're making it for yourself. You're posting it on social media to show off to your friends on social media. Hey, look what I made.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and even before the world of Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all this stuff, we had woodworking forums. We had, all that stuff. And people were posting that stuff there. And there's probably since that time, there's been people getting butthurt because, oh, you ripped off my design, or you copied my design. At the end of the day, and this is just kind of where I'm at, kind of the hill that I'll die on. If I'm not replicating to sell your product, you don't have a leg to stand on. You can get mad at me if I build something that is similar to what you made. You can get upset. You can call me out on social media. You can do whatever you want to. You can rally your followers to attempt to attack me. But on my side, if somebody, like when I post the final video of my drill press table and somebody makes an exact copy of it, okay, cool. Awesome. I just, we're all going to get inspiration from somewhere. Like I said in the beginning, there are no new ideas.
Hey, but it's flattering. At least somebody's copying what you're building. I mean,
I've never had that problem. And I've had people send me messages. Oh, hey, this person, copied what you're doing. Okay. I'm going to go look at it and comment and go, dude, that was awesome. That looked great. I don't care. Now, if you take something I did that was a one-off for me or for one of my customers, and you try to sell it and profit off of it and mass market it, a little bit of a different discussion.
Yep.
But and you're never going to stop the people from getting their feelings hurt. People are going to get their feelings hurt. And
well, I mean, it's just like I forget who it was, but they made some drawers and they put a mustache, and the mustache was the drawer pull.
Mm-hmm.
And I had probably 25 to 50 people send me that reel, and I commented. I was just like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I do that a lot. I mean, shocking. I do that a lot on like even on my miter saw that the top opens like straight up. Like there's a big mustache right there, and that's where you grab and you open the cabinet. Like I don't feel like I own that. Like,
I mean, you're not the only guy in the world with a mustache.
Well, I'd appreciate if that person that made that had a mustache, but I mean,
so
that is what it is.
She might have. You don't know.
So,
I didn't say the. I didn't say.
I purchased a bunch of skulls that were drawer pulls. Okay, and it had a bunch of different stuff in it and stuff. And then the person I purchased it from, I'd purchased like 25 of these things. Okay. And at that point, she hit me up and she goes, listen, you're spending a lot of money. And I appreciate it. But she went ahead and sent me the actual silicone jig for it, the actual jig to set the inset into it and everything. She sent it over to me. And I ended up buying 2 more skulls from her that she had because she had some dragons inside, clear with dragons in them. I thought that was pretty cool. But yes, it was Skull Inspired is who it was. But she ended up sending me the whole silicone mold, everything. And I told her I will never sell these, but appreciate it because I had another like 25 to do. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, sometimes people are cool about it. They'll send you the stuff.
Yeah, and I've had people reach out on the skulls, and they're like, "Hey, I hate to ask you this because you sell them, but I want to make some, for friends or family or whatever. Can I get some advice?" It's like, well, yeah, I actually have a video that walks you through step by step how I make it. And I got some backlash from people when I put that video out. They're like, "Wait, you sell this product? Why are you putting this video out?" And it's like, and I put the video out as the trend was starting to fall off, as sales were slowing down. And one, it's like, I don't do this internationally. So if there's international customers that, people that want to make these, that's awesome. And it was also because I'd seen a lot of advice out there in the world on doing those molds or using those silicone molds and stuff like that. And it was just really bad advice. It was causing people to ruin pours. So I wanted, to put it out there and say, hey, look, I have done enough of these to know how to do it. I've done enough wrong to know how to do it right. Let me show you the right way to do it. And it's, if you want to take my idea and run with it and sell them, cool. I don't own the rights to that. And like I said, I was not the first one to do this. There were other people before me selling skulls with stuff embedded in epoxy.
I mean, that's just the whole.
Allegedly.
Yes.
That's just the whole realm. That's the whole realm of molds. Period.
Yeah.
There's companies out there that sell them, some better than others, but then you come around with the CNC and you make a mold of whatever coaster mold.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. I wasn't even going at that angle, but I amaze myself sometimes. Maybe it was just, telepathically or something
That's a trigger. That's a trigger word for me, Joey.
Yeah, I now realize that. But anyhow, I mean, they're a dime a dozen out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some dilemma throughout the community over that. Yeah.
They come with benches sometimes.
Yeah. Depending on the person who's making them, but yeah.
No, not coasters, signs, Matt.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Get it right, Matt. Come on.
Sorry. Hit me up in the comments on it.
We haven't messed with them in so long that,
Apparently, you can get boxes of borax with a bench attached to it too.
Exactly.
Those are very pricey, I will say.
I bet they are.
Very pricey.
Hard to use too.
Oh,
I think we beat that horse long enough.
Yeah.
We're all inspired by something, whether it's nature, architecture, our fellow friends on social media, our fellow frenemies, or whatever you want to call them, on social media.
Hey, go watch my videos and copy everything. Just mention me.
Well, I mean, and we've all copied Matt's video, because I understand he has the trademark on the arm cam.
Man,
but we've all done it. I'm sorry.
I was watching a video this week and somebody did the same thing this man did. And I was like, I wonder if he watched Matt's video and took advice.
Hey, this is no joke. I watched one of Steve's videos here recently and he showed it to me and he had the Boss Dog wood glue sitting there and everything he was doing was behind the bottle.
The camera was focused on the glue bottle.
Everything he did was right behind the bottle.
Oh.
30 seconds of Boss Dog advertising with the project in the background.
If you buy this,
we've all done too. We've all done that. Set a camera down, set it up, and it's like, all right, it's focused exactly where I want it.
Exactly.
And then something happens, and that focus changes, and it's like, thank you for focusing on the edge of my table saw, not on the blade.
Or you change position and you completely block the shot. Forgetting. That's great too.
I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
Oh, you never, not even once, not even one letter.
Or you show your belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about product placement. Yeah, that's true.
It was great.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He was my boy was helping me unload that joiner. And I think I was on the phone, but I was recording. I don't know if I was on the phone with y'all or not, but I was recording. And I walked by and he was acting like a plumber. So I grabbed something and inserted a coin down.
Oh,
Cha-ching! What do I get for a quarter?
He was like, "Hey now, don't be doing that." I said, "Pick your pants up, boy."
oh my goodness.
Luckily, the camera didn't catch it because that'd have been a good one.
Oh yeah,
that was funny. Sometimes, Anyhow,
well,
belly button.
I have some amazing people out there that I would like to thank for helping us support the old podcast. And I will start with Don from What's Next Woodworking, Victor from Whim Design, Tyler from Forge 3D, Steve from Steve I Design, and Mike from Lido's Woodshop. We thank you and everyone else that is supporting us. And if you'd like to join the crew, we got a giveaway coming next week. And you can go to patreon.com/Creative Makers Podcast. Pick your tier, and we thank you in advance.
And remember, we got a week left. 1 week. for the
Uno.
Creative Makers Build Off.
5 days.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5 days. One business week.
There you go.
Yeah.
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 One
There you
business
go.
week. All you got to do.
You got 5 fingers. Well, most of us have 5 fingers.
I can't count to 5.
I get 10.
I need to use.
I get 10.
Hold on, let me take my
actually.
shoes off.
Please no.
Hey, you're lucky I have pants on.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Anyways,
We're supposed to
5
have
days
pants.
left
Back on track.
to get your project in for the Creative Maker Build Off, brought to us all by that beautiful company, that beautiful glue company, Boss Dog Glue. I can't talk now. God,
No, you
Words are
can't.
hard. Write
words
it
are
down.
really hard. And all you got to do, build you a project using Boss Dog Glue. Doesn't have to be the wood glue, can be the CA glue.
Mm-hmm.
Post it on Instagram, tag Creative Makers Podcast as a collaborator. You can tag Boss Dog Glue,
And all of us.
but tag us as a collaborator. That gets you
The
entered to win.
podcast. The
The
podcast.
Makers
The
Podcast.
podcast.
That's what I said. Creative Makers Podcast.
Right.
Get it in by Halloween, October 31st, for your chance to win a gift pack from Boss Dog Glue, and maybe some other cool things.
And Mr. Boss Dog said a huge gift pack on his
Oh, a
end.
huge
Huge.
gift pack.
Huge.
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 It's gonna be huge.
Huge.
And
With a capital
speaking about Mr. Nick Boss Dog Glue, he reached out today and he also said that coming up for the holidays, he's going to have a big, huge
Huge.
Black Friday live event on his YouTube channel, giving away
Ooh.
glue and extensive discounts and tools. So stay tuned for more on that and go check him out. He'll be relaying that information where we'll broadcast it out to y'all, and he'll be doing it from his page. But that sounds like a very interesting day that you don't want to miss. That's going to be pretty fun. Just go hang out and see if you win something, get discounts, win some tools, win some glue, so that you can enter next year's Creative Makers Boss Dog Glue. Words are bad
Glue.
today. Glue.
Glue.
Build off.
Glue.
Glue.
Anyhow, and please remember to head on over to iTunes or Spotify. Download. Excuse me.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment
might
below.
We might even start reading some of those comments. You never know.
Talk to me.
On the podcast,
I'll
not just
come
reading
back.
them. You know.
So let's do this.
Okay.
When this ends, go back in there. You got to jump out and then jump back in, because if
Mhm.
not, it's going to put it as a live comment.
Right.
But leave a comment down in the description below, or in the comments below. Words today, words. And maybe
That
we
was
could do
good.
something like that. Have a little segment,
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
a comment.
And remember, if you've got any ideas, and if you're part of the Patreon Discord and you want us to talk about something or have a topic idea, drop it in there. Or if you're not and you want to, head on over to Creative Makers Podcast at patreon.com. There you go.
Good.
Or you can email us. BJ's concentrating.
And you can,
Yes.
if you have any questions about scroll saws or the appropriate way to use them, reach out to Joey. He's a perfect resource for that.
You can't change that. You can't change that. That's you, baby.
Oh, but I
That's
did.
you.
Would you really want to go to somebody that doesn't have a scroll saw? Or to
I
a
thought
guy
he
that
had
has one? No, he doesn't.
Oh. Did you get rid of the doorstop?
Negative Ghost Rider. I don't even know where that thing is. Who knows? Who knows where it's at? I had one once upon a time, but I don't know where it's at. Hopefully in the trash can, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
I know we're
Oh,
gonna get
yes.
haters. They're gonna hate me, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. But really, I'm just joking, guys. Don't send the mob out for me. It's just a joke.
He
But-
secretly loves scroll saws.
I do it behind closed doors, and
Or open
And
doors.
if you have any questions, contact BJ at Byroms Custom Woodworks about all your scroll saw.
His face is changing colors.
You're really cheekies. He got to dress up like Santa Claus
Oh yeah.
for a Christmas show. But anyhow, thank you guys
Not
for
gonna
hanging
say
out with us.
anything.
No, don't. Thank you guys,
Whoa.
all the
got
guys
right.
that hang out with us during the show every Sunday. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody. And for Patreon members, it is going to be our weekly hangout on Saturday. I'll get that email out. So hopefully y'all can come and hang out with us for a little bit. We're going to have our Patreon call. I know we've slacked up. We've had a lot of things going on. People been going everywhere. We were on vacation. So we're going to do that. Next week is the Patreon giveaway. So if you jump in one of the top tiers, to get entered for some of that nice Boss Dog wood glue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any parting words from y'all?
I was reiterating this.
Remember to use CMP10. CMP10. Go get 10% off on some of the
Amazing glue.
packages, all that stuff.
Yes, Steven, that'll be Saturday. We'll have an email.
Yes, I'll send an email out. I get everybody's email off Patreon, so we'll have a Saturday evening call. We'll send all the details out, but sorry we've been delayed. And again, we're trying to get Mr. Link in the bio, Steve Idearola, to get with it and give us a time when we can do some recordings, because we need to get that stuff out for those Patreon members. Now I'm going to put it on his lap. Put it on his lap. It's up to you, Steve, but we're ready to get it rolling so we can get y'all some of that good education on
Edumacation.
education.
Edumacation.
Okay, I've rambled off enough. Oh boy, yep, that's right. But yeah, anything else, guys?
Nope. Bye.
All right. Until next week. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a good Sunday evening. We'll see y'all next weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What?